Hey all, welcome back. This is a little share. It's actually an extraction from the longer format of the live Q&A recently. And I thought this question and answer might be generally helpful for some people. I'll try to have it kind of defined in the title so that you're only clicking on it if it's something that will be useful to you in your claim or your post-claim activity with the SSA with regard to either Social Security disability, SSI dependent benefits, or retirement benefits, or anything else that could touch on the Social Security world that we all swim in right now. So I hope it helps, and I will talk to you later. If you ever want to be there live, that would be Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the usually about 2 hours Q&A session, so anybody can ask their Social Security questions if they so desire. Okay, I will see you then. Bye, guys. Morning, afternoon, or evening. Had some discussion, and there was some confusion about the difference, and there is a difference, and that's why I want to bring it up. The difference between getting your credit so that you will have retirement one day or disability and what your amount is going to be. So some people may think that, well, if I have enough credits, because I hear this all the time, well, I have 40 credits, so I can get Social Security disability. What I have to clarify is, if you have 40 credits, and those are those earnings credits, you can earn up to 4 of every year of your adult working life. If you have 40, you are vested to later get retirement when you hit 62 or later if you're going to wait till full retirement age or defer. So if you have 40, does that mean that you're also eligible for Social Security disability? I mean, you've got enough for retirement after all, right? The answer is no, not necessarily, because the SSD program has a recency test. Not only do you have to have earned enough, which would vary depending on your age, unlike retirement, so that young people do not have to have put in 40 credits like older people would have had to get retirement. They have something less than that. And I'm not going to go into the amounts, but it's definitely far less if you're 22 years old, the amount of work credits you had to have earned, right? Since we can only earn 4 a year. Okay. So, and usually in a nutshell, it's about half the credits you could have earned did you earn in your rear review window, up until the point of where it has to be 40, but they have to be recently enough. And I don't want to get into the specifics of that, but if you had 40 credits because you worked 10 years between the age of 22 and 32, and then for 32, and then at age 40, you become disabled, medically disabled, but you stopped working at 32 after you worked those 10 years. You will be vested for retirement, but you're not old enough to collect retirement, and you would not be eligible for disability. That's because those credits were not earned recently enough. You have to have earned 20 earnings credits in the last 10 years. And if the last 8 years between 32 and 40, there was no work, you know that only 2 of the years or 8 credits were earned in the last 10 years. I usually do this nerdy little charting thing. When I don't have a date last insured for a client, let's say he hasn't called the 800 number and gotten it yet, or there's no other, there's not a previous ALJ denial or anything like that. I'll kind of chart it out when they send me their Social Security earnings statement. The other thing to find out if you're insured for SSD is to find out your date last insured. You can do that by calling your 1-800 number, 772-1213. And of course, waiting to get an answer probably. But that's been going on forever. So whether you are vested and can get SSD or SSR is an entirely different question from, well, how much will it be? Now, everyone doesn't get the same. The more you paid in, the more you will get back. That's a general rule. We pay certain premiums, and it's the taxation on our earnings. And if your earnings are lower and you pay a lower amount in premium to get that vested Social Security, your amount is going to be commensurately lower than if you had paid in more and worked more. So the less we work, generally speaking, the smaller our benefit's going to be because we paid less into it. It's like any other premium. The higher the premium, the more the benefit generally. Yeah, so don't confuse becoming vested and being eligible to apply for SSD or Social Security retirement with some automatic amount you're going to get as a result. I've heard some people say, I thought I was going to get paid what I most recently earned in the workplace, because I earned my credits. No, that's not really it. Imagine if that were so. Let's say you work X amount of years part-time, getting credits, but maybe earning like $10,000 a year. And then you kick it in for a couple of years and earn $50,000 a year. Do you think they're going to pay you an amount as if you were always earning $50,000 a year when you weren't? Nope. The calculation is based on your top 35 years of work if you have them. If you don't, there will be zeros in there where you had 0 years, unless they were deemed by Social Security to be disabled years. And they take those 35 years and they get the annual income, all of the incomes you had for all those years, and they add them all together, essentially, divide by 35 years, and then divide that by 12 months. And that's your monthly average lifetime earnings. And a percentage of that number is what you're going to get as your retirement amount. Generally, a poorer lifetime earner will have a higher percentage allowed to be applied to his monthly average earnings to get to his monthly benefit. That's because it's a little bit of a boost. If you were to get the super low one, let's say 10, 20% that a wealthier earner would get, he would have like a very, very tiny Social Security benefit. So they kind of come to a minimum that everyone will get who becomes vested. There's going to be like a bottom floor. And that's how they do it through that. It's kind of like a shifting percentage rate that would be applied to your average lifetime monthly earnings to get whatever your amount is going to be. I mean, a higher income lifetime earner paying Social Security taxes and all that income is going to get a higher benefit, but it's going to be a lower percentage of what he's used to. It's going to be a smaller percentage of his average monthly income, because his average monthly income could have been $20,000 a month. So if a poor person is getting 50% of their average monthly income, a wealthier earner making $20,000 a month is not going to get 50% applied and take home $10,000 from the Social Security fund. It's going to be something much smaller. And as you know, the maximum monthly benefit for an individual, I think it's near 4,000 maybe. I think it's still in the high threes. I'd have to look. I don't look at it because I don't reach it. So I don't even care what it is. We all have to rely on what we put in, right? And what we're going to get out of it. But bottom line is, getting your credits is the first step. That does not dictate how much you are going to receive each month. That will depend on how much you paid in. So how high your earnings were, how much you earned and paid those taxes. And doing so will increase your benefit later on when you retire or become disabled. Alrighty? All right. Thanks, guys.